Welcome to the second video of this section. In the previous video, we got familiar with the Selenium server and downloaded it for testing. This video will help us dive into it and see how it works. In this video, we will start by registering a node and then move ahead by running the server both locally and on a remote browser. In the previous video, we started the hub, but we can't really use it for anything. We will have to attach one or more nodes to it. A node may be one computer and possibly many browsers. Each computer can, for instance, host a few Firefox instances. They can never host more than one Internet Explorer, since only one IE version can be installed at any time on a Windows system. Now is the time to register a node. Before registering a node, let us start the hub. Go to the directory where Selenium server jar file is located and execute the following command: java-jar selenium-server-standalone-2.48.2.jar-role hub. So now Selenium Grid Hub is up and running. Now is the time to start a node. Let's open a new command line and register a node. Go to the directory where the Selenium server jar file is located and execute the following command: java-jar selenium-server-standalone-2.48.2.jar-role node-hub localhost /4444/grid/register. So the node is registered to the hub and is ready to use. Let's take a look at the grid again with a browser. 1. Open a browser and visit localhost 4444. Now, registering the node changed things, so go to the console and view the browsers. The grid now seems to be able to support 5 instances of Firefox, 5 instances of Chrome, and 1 instance of Internet Explorer. We can surely use Firefox, however, we cannot use Chrome because we haven't set up the path to Chrome. It is possible to configure a node from a JSON file, however, it is out of scope of our current course. You will have to explore it yourself. I think it is now time to revisit our example and update it to use a remote browser instead of a local one. In this minified example from section 3, before we make any changes at all, let us verify that it still works with a local browser. Open the project folder in the command line and run the maven command to execute the project. So, running the test locally gets us a build success. What do we need to change to be able to use the remote driver instead? We obviously need to change how we execute the browser and driver. We must specify a URL where the remote browser can be found and the capabilities we would like to get access to. Here is the URL. URL equals new. URL dash, and the parameter is http:///4444/wd/hub. The capabilities we want is a Firefox browser and nothing more. It can be specified as capabilities. Capabilities equal desired capabilities.firefox. And finally, a remote web driver. Instead of Firefox, we have used a remote web driver with the parameter of URL and capabilities. Driver equals new remote web driver bracket URL, capabilities, close bracket. So this time, instead of a new Firefox driver, we have used a new remote web driver with the parameter of URL and capabilities. This test is ready for running remotely. Let's see if it works. We are in the project folder, and let's run the maven command. mvn clean test. Build success. Look at the terminals where the hub is started. It got a request from a new session, and the terminal where the node is started. You can see that the node is also called. This is very cool, isn't it? We made very few changes on how the browser is created, and all of a sudden, we're able to run a remote browser. If this hub was started on a remote computer and had many nodes, all with different capabilities connected to it, we would be able to run this test using any browser on any operating system. So far, we have learned to register a node and run a few tests on a remote computer. In the next video, let's try the same thing with an external service.